Hi everyone, welcome to the video of number properties. In this video, we'll be discussing about odd and even. So I hope you are enjoying your studies and I hope my videos are helping you. Odd and even is a very interesting chapter. From this section, you may expect questions both in problem solving and data sufficiency. Let's start the session. So there are only three rules in odd and even. If you add or subtract any even number to an even number, it results to an even number. So for example, let's take an even number 6, another even number 2. If we add them, we definitely going to get an even number. If we subtract two even number, then also we are going to get an even number. If we add or subtract an odd number from an odd number, then also we are going to get an even number. So for example, 5 minus 3, two odd numbers, we are going to get an even number. If we add 5 plus 3, then also we get an even number. However, if we add even and odd, then we are going to get an odd number. So for example, let's take an even number 6. We add an odd number 3. So we are going to get an odd number. If we are going to subtract an odd number from an even number, we are going to again get an odd number. So let's see the multiplication. Even multiplied by even is always an even. So for example, 2 into 4 is 8, always an even. Odd into odd is always an odd. 7 into 9, 63, which is also an odd number. However, if we multiply even with an odd number, then it's an even number. So for example, 6 into 7 is always a 42. To summarize, if in the multiplication even number comes, whether it is multiplied by an odd number, whether it is multiplied by an even number, the result is always an even number. Now let's see exponential properties. Even number raised to power of any positive integer is an even number only. So for example, 2 raised to power 3 is always an even because the even number gets multiplied again and again. Odd number raised to any positive integer is always an odd number. 3 raised to power 2 is equals to 9, which is also an odd number. Here we are multiplying actually two odd numbers. That's why this rule exists. So these are the only rules in odd and even chapter. However, the question varies. So let's see a sample question. If the product of two integers is an even number, if the product is an even number and the sum of the same two integers is an odd number, which of the following must be true? So odd and even number questions, there are two ways to solve it. One is simply by rules or simply by concepts. Let's try this way. So the question says product of two integers is an even number. So we know that even into odd is even, and we also know that even into even is also even. So we don't know that both the integers are even or one of them is odd and one of them is even. Then the second says and the sum of same two integers is an odd number. So we know in the sum properties that even plus odd is only odd, whereas even plus even or odd plus odd, in both the cases it is even. So from the concepts we know that one of the number is even and one of the number is odd. Okay, so this output we have achieved. Now let's see the options. Two integers are both odd. No, this is not true. Not true at all. Correct? So since one of the number is even and one of the number is odd, two integers are both even. No, this is also not true. One of the two integer is odd and the other is even. Yes, this is the right answer. Answer is C. Now let's see, one of the integers is 1. Maybe, may not be, so this is not the answer. The two integers are consecutive. No, it is also not given. So the answer option to this question is C. So there is another way to solve odd even questions, that is by plugging in the numbers. That is by plugging in the numbers. So for example, if the product of two integers is an even number, so the product of two integers is an even number and the sum of same two integers is an odd number. So if the sum is odd number, so let's take one integer as 2 and one integer as 5. So it says 2 plus 5 is equals to 7. It satisfies the second statement in the problem which is given, that sum of same two integers is an odd number and the product of two integers is an even number. 2 into 5 is equals to 10. So this is also okay. Now let's see the answer choices assuming that the two numbers are 2 and 5. So the two integers are both odd. So we have the case in our assumption which nullifies this statement. So statement 1 is not correct. Two integers are both even. We have an example by plugging in where this statement is also nullified. One of the two integers is odd and one of the other is even. So yes, this may be possible answer choice. One of the integers is 1. No, in our example it is not. The two integers are consecutive. No, in our example this is also not the case. So from this way also the answer option is C. So there are another examples which we'll be taking up in the coming slides. So let's see those. Now let's see the second question. If x is an odd number, which of the following must be even? Okay, let's see the first choice. Let's solve it by first concepts. So x is an odd number, 1 is an odd number. So we know that odd minus odd is equals to even. When we divide any even number by 2, the result may be an even number or the result may be an odd number. We never know. Okay, so this option is not correct. Now let's see the second question. If x is an odd number, we add an odd number to an odd number. So the result is always an even number. Again, even number by 2 may result into an even number or may result into an odd number. So this is also not correct. Let's see the third one. X is an odd number. If we square the odd number, it is always an odd number. So x square is also an odd number. And 2x, 2 into odd number, since we are multiplying even number into an odd number, it will result into an even number. So x square plus 2x, what we are doing actually is we are adding an odd number to an even number, which is always an odd number. Okay, so the answer C is also not correct. Now let's say answer D. Okay, x is an odd number, so 2x is equals to an even number because we are multiplying 2 with x and 2 is again an even number. So this choice, there is an even plus even which is always an even. So the answer choice is D. But let's see the E part also. So 3 is an odd number. We are multiplying 3 with an odd number. When we multiply two odd numbers, we always get an odd number. So 3x square is an odd number. Minus 2x. 2x is an even number. So odd minus even is again a odd number. So this E choice is also not correct. Okay, so the answer choice to this question is D. Now let's see by plugging in. It says if x is an odd number, let us assume x is equals to 7 or any other odd number you can choose. So on answer choice 1, 7 minus 1 by 2 is equals to 3, which is not even. So answer choice 1 is not an answer. Answer choice 2, 7 plus 1 by 2 is equals to 4. Yes, it is an even number. However, if we choose x is equals to 1, okay, then 1 plus 1 by 2 is equals to 2 by 2, which is equals to 1, which will be an odd number. So the statement 2 also, it does not give a concrete answer that it's an even number. So statement 2 is also not correct. Now let's see statement number 3. So we have taken x is equals to 7, x square plus 2x is equals to 49 plus 14, which is equals to 63, which is an odd number. So this is also not correct. So now let's take the fourth statement, 2x plus 2. If x is equals to 7, so 2x plus 2 is equals to 2 into 7 plus 2, which is equals to 16, which is an even number. Now let's say fifth choice, 3 into x square minus 2x, 3 into 49 minus 14, 147 minus 14 is equals to 133, which is again an odd number. So the answer choice to this question is D. So you can follow concepts also, you can follow plugging in also. Now we'll be covering the data sufficiency question, how odd and even are tested in the data sufficiency question. If x is an integer, is x even? Since it's a data sufficiency question, I write A, D, B, C, E. Let's take statement 1 first. Statement 1 says x plus 7 by 3 is equals to 2m plus 1, where m is an integer. Okay, let's simplify this. X plus 7 is equals to 3 into 2m plus 1. That means 6m plus 3. That implies x is equals to 6m minus 4. Now if we solve by concepts, then 6 is an even number. If any integer is multiplied by even number, it is always an even number. Minus 4 is also an even number. If we subtract two even numbers, we are going to get an even number. So that implies x is an even number. So statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer. So we strike off B, C, E. Now let's see the second statement. Statement 2 alone. X cube is even. So we know that any even number raised to power any exponent is a even number only. So from statement 2 also we can say that x is an even number. So the answer choice to this question is D. That both the statement individually are sufficient to answer the question. Now let's see by plugging in. It is given that x is an integer, is x an even. So statement 1. Okay, statement 1 says x plus 7 by 3 is equals to 2m plus 1, where m is an integer. So we simplify this problem. So we get x is equals to 6m minus 4. Let's say m is equals to 1. In this case, x is equals to 6 minus 4, which is equals to 2. Let's take another example, m is equals to 2. In this case, x is equals to 12 minus 4, that is equals to 8. In both the cases, x is even. So statement 1 alone is sufficient. So we write A, D, B, C, E here and we strike off B, C, E. Now let's see statement 2. Statement 2 says x cube is even. So let's take a number 8, where 8 is an even number. So if it is equals to x cube, then x is equals to 2, which is again an even number only. Let's take another example of 64 as x cube. So here x is equals to 4, which is again an even number. So here also x is even. So the answer choice is D. In the data sufficiency questions though, I will prefer you to follow the concepts, because sometimes by plugging in you may get confused and you may not get the right answer. So always use the concepts according to me in the data sufficiency questions of odd and even. Okay, let's try the last question of odd and even. The set S contains n integers is the sum of all elements of the S odd. Okay, since it's a data sufficiency question, let's write A, D, B, C, E first. Let's see statement 1. All elements of S are prime numbers. So the prime numbers, as we know, are 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on are all prime numbers. So the prime numbers are also having even numbers and the prime numbers are also having odd numbers. Okay. So if 2 is there in the set S, then it will be an even plus odd case, which will again be an odd number. If 2 is not there, then it can be an odd plus odd, which will be again an even number. So it may be an odd number, it may be an even number. So from statement 1 alone, I am not able to identify whether sum of all elements of S is odd or not. So I strike off AD. Statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer. Now let's see statement 2. Statement 2 says n is equals to 2. That means the set S contains only 2 integers. Okay, so the 2 integers may be 1 and 2. The 2 integers may be 2 and 4. We never know. So if we add an odd plus even, it will be again an odd number. If we add even plus even, it will be an even number. So statement 2 alone is also not sufficient to answer. So we strike off B as well. Now let's combine statement 1 and 2. It says that the set contains two numbers and those two numbers are prime numbers. Okay, again in this case also the two numbers can be 2 and 3, which are the two prime numbers, or the two numbers can be 5 and 7, which are also the prime numbers. In this case the result will be odd, in this case the result will be even. So we are not able to identify from this as well. So the answer choice to this question is E. So we cannot determine the answer even by combining the two statements together. Let's see the variation of this question. If the question said n is equals to 2 and all integers in n are greater than 2, that means in that case when we combine the two elements, that there are prime numbers greater than 2 we know are always odd. Okay, prime numbers greater than 2 we know are always odd, and there are two integers, so it will be always odd plus odd. In this case only the answer choice would have been C, whereby combining statement 1 and 2 we can get the answer. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the session. So looking forward to see you in another sessions in the coming videos. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye bye.